bit more light as to what is the metaverse. I don't know if there's anybody in the room who's heard about the metaverse. Hands up. Thank you. So I guess for the number of people whose hands are not up, you will learn something today, and we'll open the conversations up to get a bit of your insights, because for us at Meta, we are also learning on a daily basis. So thank you very much. I'd like to welcome Honorable Ntati Morosi to just give us a few words.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Saha, as pronounced. Good morning. Good morning. Dumelang. Sawubona. Anyway, we are on the learning curve of all the salutations that we have to learn. My name is Ntati Morosi. I'm the Minister of Communications, Information, Technology, Science and Innovation from the beautiful Kingdom of Lesotho. And I've just been called to stage to give opening remarks. I am excited, really, to be taking this opportunity to talk to you young people today. I brought with me a delegation of 10 youth who have been showcasing their products at the stall. And they tell me that they have learned a lot from all of you. They have shared experiences, and they have more ideas of what they are going to do once they get back home. And to be talking about the importance of technology today, it's a great opportunity for all of us to really focus on digitization. I always say that every time I come to forums like this where we're talking about digitization, I know that it's a big challenge for us policymakers, for leaders of countries to enable, to make sure that our countries are enabling. We have to make sure that there's infrastructure in the countries. We have to talk about, at some point, the price of internet. We have to talk about all these issues. These are challenges for us. But for you, we are saying as young people, please continue to innovate, continue to bring us modern solutions to the problems that we have of poverty reduction and many other problems of Africa that you know. And if we are talking about the theme of this summit, which is Borderless Africa, I also want to say that Africa now is one village. And what makes it one village is the strength of technology. Let us embrace technology. Let us use it to our benefit. Let's ensure that we use it to network more. We use it. I've just been to a very amazing content creation forum. Let's use it more to create content. Let's sell our products. Let's share ideas. And let's really make sure that we cross countries using the internet platform that has been created. And to us as leaders, we are taking it as a challenge to make sure that we create an enabling environment for all of you so that you just excel. Innovation cannot wait for policymakers to make policies. I've seen that. Innovation cannot wait for planners to plan. Innovation is happening. Even as we speak, it is continuing to happen. And it should. We encourage that innovation happens. We will plan, we will do policies, and we will make sure that the climate is ready for you. But please continue to innovate. The world needs young people who are innovative, who come up with solutions, who are not just knocking at the government doors to look for jobs, but who tend to be job creators. And the greatest way of doing that is using technology. We thank you very much. And please, as we talk about technology, let's also remember that there is issues of responsible use of technology, the cybersecurity of technology. It's very important that we consider all these issues as we navigate the space in technology. Thank you very much. I think my role was not necessarily to make the longest speech, but to just say I'm grateful for the opportunity to meet you and to be here. For the first time, Lesotho is represented at Youthconnekt, and we are very proud and we are grateful. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It is now open officially, I suppose.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for these key words and encouraging words for the youth. I believe we are all here gathered because we, as the youth, we want to impact on the continent. We want to advance issues, and one of them is technology, obviously. The idea of the conversation, as I mentioned previously, is really to bring to you what we at Meta, we believe is the future of internet. So we want to have a conversation whereby we present to you our vision as Meta of the metaverse, which is this next step in terms of technology, and we also want to hear from you around how you see that happening. And outside of that, after the presentation that I'm about to give, we will also have a fireside chat conversation with very key and experienced leaders in the technology sector here in Kenya, who are already well aware and well advanced in terms of what the technology of the metaverse looks like for Kenya, but also for the continent as a whole. Slide, please. Okay. Let's try to have a look at the agenda. Next slide. Okay, thank you very much. So today we want to touch on 3 specific aspects. So first of all, as I mentioned, the idea is really to provide a better idea or a clear idea of what the metaverse is. Also touch a little bit onto the technology that are used or that are surrounding the metaverse. Obviously, when we talk about technology, we know what impact it has on the economy, also at a social and community level, and we also want to touch a bit on that. What are the potential benefits of the metaverse for the continent? And obviously, as Honorable Minister mentioned, whenever we talk about innovation, we also have to think about how to use the technology in a responsible manner. So we will touch a bit on what at Meta we are looking to do when we talk about responsible, building a responsible metaverse. And finally, we will discuss and highlight some of the key efforts that Meta has done in terms of advancing this technology at the level of the African continent. So we believe that the metaverse is the successor of internet, and for us, we know that technology has been at the heart of enhancing communication and human contact. And that was the case already for the internet back in the 90s. But we believe that the metaverse is a virtual environment where each and every one of you can be present with people in a digital space that is in many or several digital spaces that are interconnected. So what we see the metaverse to be is simply a virtual space. Sorry, apologies. I'm having okay. So as I was saying, what we are seeing the metaverse to be is simply this virtual space where you are able to just connect with people and connecting in this environment, doing several things. It could be around entertainment, it could be around, for example, tourism, it could be around simply playing or having a conversation with your friend. It could be around working. There are different use cases that can be done around the metaverse. So the particularity of the metaverse is that it feels like being inside the internet instead of looking at it on a computer or a mobile device. So you will be able to use the metaverse with different devices. For example, mobile, PC, but when it comes to the immersive experience of the metaverse, the device that is used is what we call headset. You will see on the screen what a headset looks like. So this is the device you use to be able to really experience that immersion into the technology. So what you will be able to do with the metaverse basically is that you can do and you can join people physically, people that you cannot join physically, you can join them in these different environments, and you can have different ways of doing things with them. You can hang out with them, you can work, play, learn, shop, and etc. So we believe that the metaverse has this potential to unlock access to new creative, social, and economic opportunities, including for the African youth. We are at the very start of this journey towards the metaverse. It's important to understand that the metaverse is not owned by a specific company. So metaverse is not owned by Meta. This is a technology that will be run by several key stakeholders, and Meta is just one of the many contributors to the metaverse. So we believe that our vision is that as many others, we want to be involved in building services, infrastructure that collectively will make up the metaverse. So the metaverse is basically a collective project, and all stakeholders are invited to contribute to building it. By stakeholders, I mean obviously companies, technology companies, but also creators, developers, policymakers, youth, and all privacy experts, human rights experts. All of these stakeholders will contribute in making the metaverse the technology for the future that we want. So as you will see, please go back on the screen. Going back, yes. Again. So to experience the metaverse, we'll be using two main technologies. That is the AR, that is augmented reality, and also VR, which is virtual reality. What is augmented reality, you would ask? Augmented reality will simply enable you to see the real world with virtual images presented on the top of the real world. So you can see these images with, for example, glasses on, and the images that you're seeing with your glasses through augmented reality, you're able then to have specific information about the image that you're seeing. So for example, I could be looking at this computer with the glasses, and I'll be able to have specific information about the computer, its particularity, its brand, the year maybe when it was built. So all this information that you cannot have instantly on a day-to-day basis in your daily life, with augmented reality through a device, for example, glasses, you'll be able to have this type of information. But then when we talk about virtual reality, as I mentioned, the main device that is used to experience virtual reality is headset. So this headset, as you see on the screen, they basically block the real world around you. And when this real world is blocked, it is then replaced by an entirely virtual environment of your choice. So you could decide that maybe you want to experience the deep ocean, or the deep space, then it's up to you to create the environment where you want to be in the metaverse during your immersive experience. Next slide, please. So you see, for example, on this slide, there's 3 dimensions, and those 3 connections made across 3 different worlds. So the first one, you will see the physical world. In augmented reality, you see all this information about what you're seeing in the physical world, whereas in the virtual reality, you're basically creating an environment of your choice. So you see, for example, I doubt anyway that on the last portion of the screen, we have this type of landscape on Earth. So this is probably a landscape similar to the planet Mars. So this is what you'll be able to do with the metaverse, with the immersive technology. Then that will enable you to learn about new environment or put yourself in different settings. So what I mentioned earlier was that the metaverse is built by several companies and by several key stakeholders. So basically, what also is important to understand is that outside of the fact that it's built individually, it's important that we get to succeed as the sector in terms of technology to make it open but also interoperable, meaning that the metaverse that will be built, for example, by Meta, will be accessible by people experiencing the metaverse built by another tech company, so that the user will be able to have all this experience at a different stage, and he can move from one environment to the other without having to maybe change headset or changing elements that will help him get into a specific metaverse. So this is definitely something also we are working towards too as Meta. So next slide. No, this one, sorry. So quickly, I will just highlight some of the key user experiences that we've been able to develop as Meta already for the metaverse. I mentioned that games and immersive content is really an important aspect of experiencing the metaverse. But outside of that, we also have experience around social connection. So there's this possibility at Meta with Horizon World, which is this platform which enable you to really connect with other people using the technology just as you, and have interaction just as if you were physically present with these people. But outside of that, we also have use cases around education, around work, around productivity. So we believe that with the metaverse, and that's already happening, it's possible, for example, in education, AR and VR technology, to test and perform complex ideas and tasks at a very low risk way. For example, it will be possible for surgeons to experience or test surgeries that they may not have the opportunity to do on a daily basis on patients, and that will really help them as they are improving in their skills. So these are some of the experiences or use cases, as I mentioned, but it's really important to understand that as we are building, next slide please, as we are building this technology, we at Meta, we are conscious of the importance really to develop the technology in a very responsible manner, and having development practices that will lead us towards a technology that is safe and a technology that users can embrace fully. So we've been able as Meta to come up with key innovation principles that are guiding our work as we are building the metaverse alongside also other companies. So we really think it's very important as we are building the metaverse to really be transparent about how our products work, and also the type of user experience to expect in terms of this technology. We also have, to that effect, a number of safety material that we put at the disposal of users. We think is also key when building this technology to really think about providing control to the user as they use the technology. So we are building towards that. We also want the technology to be inclusive of the world diverse population, including both vulnerable, even underrepresented communities. So we really think that we have to work towards a metaverse that is very inclusive. And finally, one of the key principles that is guiding Meta in developing this technology is the importance of putting people first. So we are looking to create a metaverse that is really balanced, where we believe that over the long term, business value will stem from us putting people first. So these are really the key principles that are guiding our approach in terms of developing this technology. And to finish, I want to touch a little bit on some of the efforts that we at Meta we've put in place in order to advance this technology and make it a reality across the continent. So we, as I mentioned, we really believe that it has to be a collaboration and a cooperation across companies, developers, creators, and policymakers to bring the metaverse to life. But it's important to understand that in Africa, we are already having thriving tech startups, ecosystem in Africa that are helping in shaping this technology. And we at Meta, we are also supporting this ecosystem that is present. For example, we've been able to support through, for example, different programs, some of these key stakeholders that are engaging in the technology on the continent. We had, through our project Future Africa, we were able to partner with Africa No Filter, EMIC 3D, but also Electric South, to support creators who are pushing the boundaries of digital storytelling by using immersive technology through the future, through the program Future Africa. So the idea really through this program was to provide funding, but also mentorship and also production support for XR creative across the continent. But outside of that, we were also able to run a metathon in collaboration with again, key stakeholder in the environment of the metaverse, that is EMIC 3D and also Black Rhino. And this metathon was aiming at supporting African XR talent to build innovative solutions that demonstrate various aspects and use cases of the metaverse in Africa. We also think at Meta that training, but also outside of training, research is really very important in terms of advancing this technology. So that's why we've been able to put in place Meta Immersive Learning, which is an investment that we are making to help develop the next generation of metaverse creators. We were able through that to fund high quality immersive experience that transform the way we learn and also increase the learning through the technology. And specifically in Africa, we've been collaborating with African Leadership University to extend our Meta Spark AR program curriculum. And through this curriculum, the idea really is to provide high quality immersive learning content to students, to youth that are interested to build this technology and create around this technology. So these are some of the efforts we've been able already in the past 2 years to put in place so that in order to advance the technology on the continent. And we believe more or less that what is really exciting is that the metaverse is beyond what we think it is, that is gaming and entertaining or entertainment. The metaverse has a real potential to really impact our communities. So it's important that as we develop this technology, it's important that we as the youth of the continent, we also embrace the potential and that this technology has to offer. This is, as I said, the future of the internet. Conversations are happening across the world around how to tap into the opportunities and potential of the technology, and it is very important and key that we as African, we also delve into this conversation, we contribute to this conversation in order to shape the Africa that we want, the Africa that we believe can also emerge through the use of this technology. Maybe one last point that I believe I forgot to highlight is that definitely there are key economic opportunities around the metaverse, and during the fireside chat that we'll be having, I believe our experts will be able to dive deeper into that and into what is happening already on the continent. But it's key to really highlight this early stage report that was done by Analysis Group. And this report simply estimates that the metaverse will contribute about 1.8% of the GDP growth of the sub-Saharan African economy, which represent $30 billion growth. So these are really huge figures, and it's really important that as we are conversating around that, as we are thinking through that, we start breaking it into what are the steps or what are the next stages so that us as African and specifically African youth, we can tap into these opportunities. So I will stop there, and thank you very much for your attention. So I will be able to take maybe 1 or 2 questions, and after that we will give the floor to our panelists and our moderator for the fireside chat. So maybe 2 or 3 questions so that as we, okay? Where? The mic. Okay, then I'll bring it down.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Joseph from Nkare Oltau. My team and I, we were involved in the SDG Metaverse Prize competition earlier this year. And one of the biggest challenges we encountered was access to the Oculus or the MetaQuest devices. We only had access to 1 device against a team of around 10 members. So does Meta have any plans to make these devices more accessible to low-income areas, such as Kenya, for that matter? Another is there plans to sensitize the actual use of these devices? We had the launch of the MetaQuest 3, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of people actually know about it. Yeah.
Okay. Apologies, everyone. We've just been informed that the closing ceremony, is starting in few minutes, and we are invited to let you attend the closing ceremony. So what we will suggest is that we get to attend the closing ceremony and reconvene so that we can continue the conversation. Will that work for you guys? Okay, so we are waiting for you once the closing ceremony is done. Thank you very much.